Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to the Zebra Center and Youth Advocacy Center for hosting us here in their new location. It's great to have an opportunity to be here to see this new space that is helping to support thousands of children each year who have experienced abuse. The care and attention you put in designing the space with larger areas to allow for more child-friendly meeting rooms, an expanded toy room, which I appreciate, on-site counseling, a sacred wellness room, and an outdoor green space is inspiring. This new facility showcases your tireless dedication and work to helping create a future where every child and youth has the supports and services that they need. Every child and youth, no matter where they are, deserves to be free from all forms of abuse. Alberta's government understands a critical need to ensure that children and youth right across Alberta who have experienced abuse are safe and supported. We want to ensure that any child who has experienced sexual, physical, or emotional abuse are supported through the entire process, including the investigation and legal proceedings. And that's why the work of child advocacy centers and child and youth advocacy centers is so vitally important. They provide coordinated services to children and youth who experience neglect, as well as physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. And that is why I am so pleased to be here today to announce a 10% funding increase to the total funding allocated to 8 child advocacy centers and child and youth advocacy centers right across Alberta. On July 1st, over $300,000 in additional funding was distributed to help address the ongoing sector pressures that are being experienced right across the province, such as rising caseloads. This brings the total investment in 2025 to child advocacy centers and child and youth advocacy centers to $3.7 million right across the province. We know you have challenging roles that require a lot of time, training, energy, and compassion. But your work and empathy does make a difference in the lives of so many children here. And I have heard of your concerns, and I recognize the ongoing pressures that you're facing. This funding is a meaningful step towards supporting your ability to continue delivering vital services to Alberta's most vulnerable children and youth. Although that there's a lot more work to be done, we will continue engaging with our child advocacy centers, child and youth advocacy centers, sexual assault centers, and cross-ministry and sector partners to strengthen provincial coordination to better support children and youth who have experienced sexual violence, abuse, or neglect. These incredible centers help make a meaningful, long-lasting impact in the lives of so many children, youth, and families. Your child-friendly environments provide a coordinated, collaborative, and timely response to reports of sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, and neglect against children and youth up to 18 years of age. Alberta is better because of you. We all are. And it is up to all of us to know the signs of abuse and neglect and how to report concerns for a child's well-being. Speaking up to protect children is a courageous act that can have life-changing effects on young people, showing them that they are not alone. If you see something that worries you, don't wait. Report concerns by calling the 24/7 Child Intervention Line at 1-800-638-0715. And together, we can continue to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. I am proud to serve as the CEO of the Zebra Child and Youth Advocacy Center, which was the first center of its kind in all of Canada. And it supports over 4,000 children every year. Before the Zebra Center existed, young people would have to visit grown-up places like police stations to share their experience of abuse and access supports, which could be very nerve-wracking and add to further trauma. Over 20 years ago, our community knew that we could and should do better for kids. And thanks to the dedicated hard work of community members and multidisciplinary partners, the Zebra Center was created. From supporting kids as they disclose their abuse, to helping to navigate the justice system and connecting with mental health supports like therapy, our multidisciplinary team helps kids every step of the way in their journey toward healing. In short, the Zebra Center is our community response to child abuse. And last year, we supported 4,387 young people. 51% of those cases had a component of sexual abuse. 41% of those cases involved serious physical harm, such as broken bones, bruises, burns, and severe neglect. The remaining cases involved young people who witness violent crime or have been affected by other forms of harm, like online crimes and abduction. I should note that in the past decade, the number of kids coming to the Zebra Center has more than tripled. We are very, very busy, with no signs of a decline in the numbers. This year, we are on track to match or surpass our 2024 numbers. Zeppelin agrees. It truly takes a herd to provide these essential services and supports. Our multidisciplinary team includes Edmonton Police and RCMP, Children and Family Services, Recovery Alberta, Alberta Health Services, and Edmonton Prosecutions, as well as our 3 facility dogs and community advocates, as well as staff. Zebra staff. Each partner brings specialized experiences, professions, and perspectives, which create a robust and effective support system for every child and youth who comes to the Zebra Center. Many people say to me, Emmy, it must be so sad working at the Zebra Center. And yes, the kids who come to Zebra have experienced great trauma. But I also know that when they come to Zebra, they are truly surrounded by care and support and kindness, and that gives me hope. And one of our core partners who has been with Zebra since we opened in 2002 is the Ministry of Children and Family Services. Not only do ministry staff share their expertise, experience, and care with the Zebra Center, but the ministry has been integral in providing essential operating funds to ensure that the Zebra Center continues. We could not do our good work without the Ministry of Children and Family Services. So I am proud to stand here today, along with Minister Turton, to share the impact of the Zebra Center, as well as the other CACs across our province, and to thank the government of Alberta for recognizing the importance of this work by investing in the Zebra Center. We could not do what we do at the Zebra Center without you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That concludes the formal portion of the press conference, and we will now move on to questions and answers. To ensure we can get as many questions as we can, we will be proceeding with 1 question, 1 follow-up. A reminder for reporters to please state your name and outlet before starting. Seeing no one on the floor, operator, can you put through our first caller?
We don't have questions as of the moment.
Okay, we'll go back to the floor.
Funding was 300. What was the funding?
It's $300,000, I believe.
Yeah, it's so the total bucket for child advocacy centers has gone up by 10%. So it's going to be a pretty big increase for many of the CACs here in the province.
How far will $300,000 go in the whole scheme of things? I mean,
Yeah.
more population.
Yep.
This year, I mean, 300,000 sounds like a big number, but is it actually enough?
The minister can speak to how it is being delegated, but I do believe that it has been sort of proportionate to based on size, and Zebra has received a larger chunk of that. We're very fortunate, but as I say, it's because we are so darn busy. My understanding is the Zebra Center is the busiest child advocacy center in all of Alberta. We see the most number of kids every year, and I believe if we're not the second busiest in Canada, we might be the busiest in all of Canada. So the government has recognized that in terms of how far it goes, like every dollar helps to provide. We use the operating dollars to support everything from funding our toy closet and food and snacks, toiletries, clothing, as well as for our staff. So hopefully that helps answer it. So. To be honest, we never turn anyone away. So really, what our numbers depend on the amount of abuse, and we just respond as best we can. So Zebra has seen a 5% increase in our operating budget contribution from the government. So that's our portion of that. And what that has meant for Zebra specifically is basically hiring the equivalent of about one more navigator to help families navigate. But what we've found over the past, like I say, decade, where our numbers have truly tripled, is our team. I mean, we could always use more and more funding, and that's why we fundraise. But our team responds no matter what. We do the best, and we stretch as far as we can with what we have, and no child is ever turned away. So it really depends in terms of number of kids coming. No one's ever turned away. If abuse is reported, that child comes to Zebra, and we give them support. And whether it's 2,000 kids a year or 4,000 or more, our team will do the best that they can with what we have.
Thank you. Next question at the mic, please.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, I mean, it's James Dunn with City News.
Yeah.
You talk about the demand, and you've said it yourself that no kid is turned away. Is there going to be a point where you might have to?
I would say I believe the worst is behind us, thankfully. For Zebra, and I can only speak for Zebra, our toughest times were when we were in our downtown location, our former location. We just didn't have the space for everything there. Now that we're in this new home, this has been a huge difference. Now we have the space for all of our partners to be fully on site. So for example, prior to October of last year when we became operational in this new building, Recovery Alberta, who's one of our core partners, and they have therapists allocated to the Zebra Center. We had no space for them to do their work on site, so now we have space. So, the Zebra Center, we have navigators. We also have all of our partners, and so the police, Edmonton Police has the full child protective unit. This funding from the government doesn't impact their work so all of our partners are working together. It's the big catalyst for us has been to have this great, wonderful space where we actually have room for everyone to do their work together.
Maybe just a follow-up for the minister. Obviously, this issue just keeps coming up and up and up all over again. It almost seems like it never can stop, to me at least. Well, obviously, another ministry handles the maybe prevention side, but how can your ministry, I guess, help put a stop to it?
Well, it's a good question, and that's why our Ministry of Children and Family Services and the Government of Alberta continue to invest in those preventative services, such as strengthening family resource networks. We're helping support families in their home environments, making sure that they have the tools and resources that they need to become resilient and strong, and can help, which will help limit the cases of domestic or sexual violence as well as we have domestic violence prevention grants as well within my ministry. For programs throughout the entire province. So there's a lot more we can do, but as a government, we remain committed to making sure that some of these most vulnerable and complex situations and family dynamics are looked after, because it absolutely rips my heart apart when I hear about a child that has been sexually abused. I'm thankful for entities like Zebra to be there to offer that support for those children that need help the most. And that's why, as part of the announcement as well, it was so important for us to help strengthen child advocacy centers that are located in our other mid-sized cities, such as Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, because we want to make sure that those families that are going through some of the most darkest days of their entire lives, they don't have to drive hours and hours to be able to get to an advocacy center. They can come to the next major center, which is Medicine Hat or Lethbridge, in those cases, and that they'll receive the support that they require. So I think this is a positive announcement. It shows, again, our ongoing commitment to making sure that some of our most amazing but most vulnerable and complex families are looked after.
Thank you. We'll take one last question from the floor.
Question for the minister. Yesterday, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended the COVID-19 vaccine for all children ages 6 through 23 months old, as well as for those 2 through 18 years of age in certain risk groups. Do you agree with these recommendations, and why or why shouldn't the COVID-19 vaccination be covered in Alberta for children?
Well, I will leave the who should get the vaccine to the medical professionals. I know our health ministers are looking at that very issue right now. I know that there was some changes to the policy to allow COVID vaccinations for medical professionals here in the province of Alberta. Those conversations are ongoing. We want to make sure that the health and safety of Albertans is looked after, so those conversations are ongoing. And I look forward to the findings from both the health professionals as well as the health ministers about any potential policy changes that we might be looking at.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's event.
Okay. Thank you.